massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime, Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say, we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
President Trump there at the White House, Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio also serving as his national security advisor, along with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth right there with President Trump announcing to the nation, similar to what he said in his post on social media not long ago, that the U.S. is now directly involved with Iran, striking 3 nuclear locations, Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan.
Absolutely
3
ridiculous.
Nuclear facilities that the U.S. had long been studying, as well as international observers around the world in tracking Iran's nuclear program and their desire perhaps one day to have a nuclear weapon. I want to bring in Mary Bruce. Let's go back to Mary at the White House. Mary, the president had warned Iran, come to the table. Let's negotiate some sort of a peace deal that this current conflict must end. At last word, he said 2 weeks would be his deadline. We know that's turned out to be 2 days. We'll learn in the hours and days to come whether that was part of the strategy here. But this is a fairly risky move for this president, though tonight he says it's been a victory. He thanked U.S. forces who were involved, and he said if Iran does not end the wars and seek peace, tragedy for Iran will be even greater than what we've seen in the last 24 hours.
David, it is an extremely risky move, and no one knows really where this goes from here. Look, the president, we know, has long warned that Iran cannot get a nuclear weapon, but he also long was pushing for those negotiations. As you mentioned, it was just 2 days ago that the president announced, after yet another meeting in the Situation Room, that he was going to give himself this 2-week deadline within which to make this decision whether or not to strike Iran, in part because he thought there was, quote, a substantial chance of negotiations, that they would be able to get Iran back to the table. It is not clear still, even after hearing from the president just now, what changed his mind, what led him to believe there was no time left to waste, that the U.S. had to go ahead and get deeply involved in this conflict in a way that the president has also really promised the American people he would not. He campaigned on a promise to be a peacemaker and a unifier, to keep America out of these kinds of conflicts. And what's clear tonight is that the president is very much leaving open the door that there will be more of this. While he is hailing the strikes tonight as a huge success, he is also not ruling out additional military action, saying that there are many targets left, that they will act with precision, speed, and skill if needed. How all of this will ultimately end Iran's nuclear program is a huge question. And of course, David, Iran has promised a severe response if the U.S. were to be directly involved, as we now are.
And one quick follow-up to what you're reporting here, Mary. Obviously, you're watching ABC News live coverage at this hour. The president just addressing the nation, talking about the U.S. striking 3 Iranian nuclear sites. The president calling it a tremendous success. Speaking briefly with our John Carl earlier this evening before addressing the nation about this. And Mary, you've covered President Trump for some time. You've covered him as a candidate, his promises not to engage in the Middle East and in any more foreign wars. At the same time, he has long promised that Iran would not get a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, and David, you know, just again 2 days ago, the White House, while saying that they were giving themselves this 2-week timeline, again stressed that Iran was very close to getting a nuclear weapon, saying that Iran had everything it needed to achieve a nuclear weapon, and that once the supreme leader gave the go-ahead, that it could be just a few weeks before Iran had that full capability. Clearly, something changed in the president's calculus to make him go ahead and make this decision tonight. It is a remarkable turn for a president who has avoided getting dragged into these kind of conflicts, and it is one that his presidency, it will now define. That is for sure.
Our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, with us live here tonight. Mary, thank you. I want to bring in John Carl, our chief Washington.
This is my last term. If I don't do something now, bro, what the fuck am I going to be remembered for? Chelsea, you think I'm finna get out of office? I'm not going to bomb once? Watch me.
Correspondent John, I was struck that you were able to connect with the president even before he addressed the nation tonight. Again, he was confident with what he had witnessed, what he'd been briefed on following this operation, and made it clear to the American people that all of the U.S. military involved in this operation is back out of that airspace and on their way home.
I think the most significant thing is I called him, I mean, really, David, just in the aftermath of learning about these attacks within an hour of his speech that we just saw, and he picked up the phone. That was a measure of how eager he was to tout what he said in those words he said to me, a tremendous success tonight. He didn't want to talk about the details of the operation, about the very difficult questions, David, of what are the next steps? What happens with Iran? What happens with Iran's efforts to retaliate? We heard some of that in the speech just now when he said the attacks will be far greater and much easier if Iran does anything to the United States. But David, we are in a new phase here right now. I think it is without question the most consequential decision that we have ever seen Donald Trump make. And it's entirely unclear what direction it will go. Will it be consistent with his promise to end the forever wars? That's the argument that's being made tonight by the president's advisors. They're saying that what this has done is finally an American president has taken care of an Iranian threat that has bedeviled the United States for nearly a half a century. Finally, an American president has ended a threat that has killed a lot of Americans, as you heard the president mention.
Do you guys agree with this, chap? Do you guys agree that Donald Trump has ended eternal wars with this? I mean, don't get me wrong. He might have ended some conflict. He might have started some conflict, but how does that end, like, eternal wars? Not only does that just create more, like, extremities, like more casualties, more hate, but you get more enemies.
And the attacks on American troops, especially in Iraq. But the question is, did it end the threat, or did it create another new and more dangerous chapter in the U.S.-Iran conflict?
Yeah, no question, it is a new chapter, John Carl. Bottom line here, the willingness to get on the phone with you signaled that the president was very pleased with the outcome of this operation tonight.
Very pleased with the outcome and eager to tell people that he is very pleased with the outcome tonight.
Oh yeah, let's see what Americans say. That's a great idea. Let's see what the rest of America says about
The
this.
thing with Iran is that they would shoot nukes. They would do it. They would absolutely drop a nuclear weapon on top of Tel Aviv.
They
They'd
did.
do it.
I'm mixed about the Israeli government.
They
I am
absolutely
Jewish.
did.
Today we're asking Americans if the United States should go to war with Iran after Israel launched missiles at Iran. Iran
This is gonna be a
retaliated and launched
captivating
missiles
one.
back at Israel, and now they're at war, and the United States is now deciding what they should do. So today we're gonna be asking a very important question to Americans to see what they think the United States should do. Should we enter into this war or not? Here we go, and let's go talk to people here on the streets. What should the United States do, and should we enter into this war?
I don't know if we want to full on enter into war, but I think we have to.
Chat. Should he be talking about the war, or should this man be in the war? Are you joking me? If this fucker was on the battlefield, the war might be over for real. Are you serious? What the fuck?
Have a position on it as a, as a world kind of coming together. But I think step cautiously. I think that's a war that's been going on over there for a long time. A lot of religion things and stuff that go further back than where we're at now. But I do feel like we have the right person in the right place to try to make some logic of the situations over there.
Do you think if we do get into this war, it could cause a World War III?
I would hope not. No, I think we've got enough things in position with some of the bigger powers that I think there's enough control now. And I do feel like that other countries, finally, we've got their respect back with who we've got sitting in there, regardless of a personality thing that people may have with Trump. I do feel like he is a very fit leader, and I do feel like someone that does have control, and the
Yo, I
guy's
love
the
his
best
lav mic.
negotiator there is. So that's a plus. That's what we're trying to do. Let's talk this out first before we go kill a bunch of people.
Right now, Donald Trump is contemplating whether or not the United States should enter into the Israel-Iran conflict. What do you think the United States should do?
I think whatever Donald Trump says we should do the opposite.
Do you trust Donald Trump's judgment in this time?
Not at all.
Would you support the United States getting into the
Yo, where is he finding these people, guys? This motherfucker should be on the front of the battlefield too. Matter of fact, whoever this YouTuber is, put him in charge of our enlistment process. Where is he finding these dudes? What happened to my sound?
Precision strikes, get rid of any ability for them to have a nuclear weapon, but no boots on the ground, never again.
Should the people that voted for Trump be worried now with what's happening?
I think we should always be worried about what might happen over in the Middle East, which is why we have to keep countries like
Does the military
Iran,
give
Axis
these
of Evil, North
glasses out?
Korea, Russia in check, and
Serious
countries like
question.
Iran, you can't allow them to obtain any sort of a high enriched uranium to make a weapon. If they want to have nuclear energy, that's another thing, but highly enriched uranium isn't meant for nuclear energy. That's only meant for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to make a bomb.
Israel launched some missiles at Iran, took out some of their leaders, and then Iran just launched and landed in Tel Aviv. Where does this war go?
Yeah, I mean, the effort obviously by Israel was to disable the nuclear program of Iran. Iran, who is the #1 funder of terrorism throughout the world, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, all of them being funded by Iran.
Houthis.
In this proxy war where Iran is
Somebody
spending,
fact check that.
you
Is
know,
that
a
real?
few $1 million to get the success of like what we saw on October 7th, they have to be held and accountable for what they've done. The worst thing that we could possibly do, the #1 terrorist supporter on the planet, is allow them to have nuclear weapons. For nuclear weapons to kind of be in place, there's 4 key components. You have to have the ingredients to make it. You have to have the facilities to cook it. You have to have the cooks themselves, and you have to have the ingredients. Israel attacked
Wait,
all
what the
4
fuck
of
are we
those
talking
elements,
about?
those 4 cornerstones of the nuclear program. They specifically targeted
Oh, we're talking about nuke. Dude, I thought you started talking about drugs. I was like, what the fuck?
personnel. They were targeting facilities where they could do it, research centers that were part of it, and housing equipment. And it was necessary for Israel's existence. They said, we have to do this. If we don't, Iran is going to be supplying nuclear weapons to people that don't want us to exist. That's a pretty scary place for a country to be.
So it was necessary for Israel to take action?
I mean, I'm not Israeli, and I'm pro-America,
know.
and I
We can tell.
yeah,
Are you standing in
if
front
I
of
were
an
in
American
their
memorial?
shoes, and
That's
I
where he's finding
am in
these
a
guys.
position where my adversary is about to have the equipment that can completely destroy me and everything that I love, I have to prevent them from getting that. So I understand that. We as Americans, since the Cold War, we've been at this thing with Russia, where it's, hey, are you going to shoot nukes? Are we going to shoot nukes? The thing with Iran is that they would shoot nukes. They would do it. They would absolutely drop a nuclear weapon on top of Tel Aviv. They'd do it.
Do you guys think the United
for
States should
sure.
enter into the war with Iran, and would you
They
guys
did.
be willing to serve the United States military in this war?
I ain't gonna lie, that's not my fight.
Yes, sir.
Part of that one.
Yes,
To be
sir.
real, we stay part of that.
Fight our own wars, if we have any.
And when Trump was running to become president for the second time, he said the wars like Russia-Ukraine would have not happened, but now this war between Iran and Israel is starting. Do you think we should trust Donald Trump in this time?
I think it's bigger than Donald Trump right now.
Me, I think it is bigger
Yo,
than him.
let this man run for
I
president.
think it is bigger than
Because
him.
he did say he didn't want to do no wars when he got elected, but I feel like he ain't got no control over what's going on right now.
Do you think we should trust Netanyahu?
Nah, I mean, he's a dangerous man.
I'm surprised people know who he
Dangerous
is.
man out there, man. I don't know.
Is that
You're a veteran, you've served for our country. Should
that
the
fair
United
to
States
say?
enter into war with Iran?
Well, when you put it like that, it's cut and dry, and the situation is many. It's not so cut and dry. And I don't particularly love Trump for all his things, but when
What
he's
is he
defending
wearing?
the Constitution peacefully, we have to take precautions. The idea that Iran may even have this first nuclear weapon, that should be clear that we do not want it to exist. We don't want troops on the ground, and we hope that maybe using the bunker buster bomb, destroying their capability, will make it where they'll want to not have.
Chat, does that make sense? If they just figured out, okay, for one, why do they have like 12 nuclear sites if they just now got the capabilities to use a nuclear weapon? And then wouldn't fucking bombing that make us their first target? Like if the nuclear war happened, theoretically, who are they shooting at? The people who just bomb their fucking facilities, bro. Hello?
A nuclear program.
What do you guys think about the United States potentially getting involved in the war with Israel?
Yo, his
and Iran?
shirt's sick.
Oh, I think it's a bad idea. I think it's a bad idea. World War
great
III is going to
JoJo
start in the
shirt.
Middle East, and we're just going to get involved in World War III at this point.
Do you think if the United States does get into the war, it will cause a world war?
Oh,
III?
absolutely. It puts us up against either the Russians or Israel. There's no choosing sides in this that doesn't negatively impact the American people.
And why do you think the United States is so involved with Israel?
Money. It's all money. It's all business. It's all oligarchy at this point.
And do you trust Donald Trump's judgment?
No, not at all. Not at all. He's not looking out for us. He's looking out for the people that line his pocket. At the end of the day, that's
I
it.
like
What
both
would you
of
like to
their
see
shirts.
happen here? Should the United States go after Iran's nuclear weapon, or do you think they should just leave it into the hands of Israel?
And I think we should be hands off. I'm not saying Israel's going to do the right thing, but I don't think we should be the ones to do it. It's not our job.
And if Iran is saying death to America, death to Israel, should the United States get in?
They're not coming over here. They're not killing us. Like they're saying, they can talk all they want, but they're not here. They're not on the ground in the United States, and they're not hurting us. So why should we go there and hurt them because they threatened us?
And me personally, I'd be more nervous if the United States did get into the war because of all the people that did come across the border.
Absolutely.
There could be sleeper cells here.
Absolutely.
And if the United States did enter into the war, do you think we'd see some sleeper cells cause terrorist attacks here in the United
Well, I
States?
think that raises the chances of that for sure. It doesn't guarantee that it would happen, but more likely if we start pissing those people off. Yeah.
Would you be surprised if terrorist attacks started happening in big cities across America?
Not at all. I mean, we saw it in 9/11. I mean, like it's happened before, you know?
That's literally how World War I and II started, is all these alliances between all these countries. One spark sets off the whole powder keg, and suddenly the whole world's at
Now you
war.
have to back up your alley.
And see, that's exactly what I'm talking about, bruh. And who has launched the first global attack? I mean, sure, Israel bombed Iran. Globally, though, making yourself a presence towards a nuclear facility, ding, 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 it's the U.S., buddy.
Allies. Now you have to back up your allies. I'm not saying it's the right or wrong thing to do. It's, with everything else going on, it's very precarious.
And really quick, if you guys are watching this video right now, make sure you guys are subscribed and give this video
he's
a
talking
like.
about my channel.
And now let's keep going with these interviews.
If you're watching
And
this,
you
you
as a
better like
vet,
this stream right now.
would you be willing to enter back into
Get more
war?
people in here, y'all.
No.
Double tap.
Not a chance.
You're
I
saying
already did my time.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Where did you serve in?
Afghanistan, Iraq.
How dangerous are these people over there in those parts of the world?
The people of Iran are great people. If you look at Iran in the 70s and the 80s, it was very much like any other country, first world country. But with the Ayatollah and with the extremists, taking away women's rights in education, you can't be homosexual in those countries, things like that. They went backwards instead of forward. They damned themselves a little bit. The people are fine. It's their leadership that needs an adjustment.
And should the United States go after that nuclear weapon that they are apparently building?
1,000%. Yeah.
So you would support them going into the war?
Yeah, I would. It wouldn't be a war, so it's not a war.
So say they did enter into this war, how long would you think this would last? Do you think it'd be one missile, one bomb, and it's over?
I think, it's never just one bomb. I think if you're looking at it'd be a tiered precision strike, so it'd happen in phases, but it wouldn't be something like Bush's, coin fight, the counterinsurgency fight with Iraq, Afghanistan for 20 plus years. It wouldn't be a continuation of that. I think Trump would live up to his word of it being just, hey, we're just going to strike this and that's that. The next guy who comes in can deal with whatever.
That's not
whatever
gonna be
mess there
it.
is
Dude.
after.
That's not gonna be it though, because if we strike, they're gonna strike back. They've already said they would. What do you mean that's it?
That I don't like the fact that we have to get involved in stuff like this, but when you have a country like Iran who potentially they're working diligently to try and get a bomb, that's scary. That should be scary for any American or anyone in the Western world.
Do you think if the United States enters into war with Iran, do you think that will lead to a World War III?
No.
And what do you think is going to happen with the situation that's going on?
Just like anything else, I honestly think everything will cool down, cooler heads will prevail. We've been dealing with nuclear weapons since the end of World War II, and I don't think anybody is honestly going to be that stupid to pull a trigger like that.
Donald Trump said that there would be no wars if you...
I know. He's kind of a hypocrite. Sorry, you probably don't want this on film.
No, you're all good. No, you're all good. With Iran potentially having a nuclear
bro.
weapon, does that worry you? And do you think that's something the United States should enter into a war for?
I still don't, but that's me personally. I feel like this has been going on for a while. We knew that it was coming, but...
Because there's videos of Netanyahu talking in the 1990s about Iran having this nuclear weapon.
I know,
but
so why now? I don't know. Maybe they know things we don't know. That's where we need to trust our leaders, but I don't. Sorry.
Do you think the United States should enter into war with Iran?
I think that they may have to provide a little bit of support to Israel to help them do what they need to do. But our history of entering into wars in that part of the world have not had positive outcomes in the past, i.e. Afghanistan and Iraq.
And whose war do you think this is to fight, Israel's or the United States, or both?
I don't know if it's a war that anybody should fight. I mean, but Iran is a threat to all the Middle East, including the Arab countries, not just Israel. So I think somebody has to just keep them in control, in balance somehow.
And should the United States trust Israel, people like Netanyahu and the Mossad, when the information that we are getting is from Israel?
I'm mixed about the Israeli government. I am Jewish.
He's asking good questions.
But I do
He's wearing
think
an
they do
Ireland
have
shirt,
a very good Secret Service organization with the Mossad and good information, and I think it's probably valid.
And you as a Jew, do you feel like the Arab countries like Iran, do you feel like they wish death upon you?
Some do. It depends on how fundamentalist, the people we're talking about.
Would you be willing to fight in a war against Iran?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
Americans are needed to do so why not?
What do you think about this ongoing conflict that's happening?
I'm not a fan of the war, honestly, but I feel like it's there for a reason, so...
The war is there for a reason?
I believe so. They're not doing it for no reason,
Does it worry about Iran potentially receiving a nuclear weapon? Or they might even have it right now?
That's part of it, yeah. We'll see if it happens, I guess.
Do you trust Donald Trump's judgment in this time?
He said we'll see if it happens.
You have to, as a
He
president.
said meet me on
What
the
do you
line.
want to see happen?
I don't want to see a nuke set off over here. Other than that, I mean, I'm just doing me,
Especially in major cities, bro.
If they
I'd be
did have a
terrified
nuclear
right now.
I mean, if they didn't have a nuclear weapon and it needed to be done to the point where they didn't have enough...
Chat, let me know where you guys are from. Are you all from major cities? Are y'all actually genuinely scared? Let me know. I'm like in a rural kind of area. Like, I don't know why they bomb my area. But still, like, if I lived in like New York City or like LA or something, I'd be terrified.
of people, and I'm an American. I like my country, so why not? You know, I'd go. I've served in the military. I'd put myself back in, so why not?
What would you guys like to see Donald Trump do?
Back off. I want to see him back off and help the people of the United States like he said he was going to. That's it. That's it. I just want someone that's fighting for us.
You know, you're seeing a lot of people shift on the internet. For instance, people like Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens are coming out against Donald Trump in these times of the war. Do you think you'll see more people step away from Donald Trump if he does go into this war?
We're starting to see the cannibalism of this one faction. It's not Republicans versus Democrats. It's MAGA versus everybody.
Do you think MAGA will turn their back on Trump if he does enter into this war?
A big portion of it, yeah, I think so. He's already starting to see a lot of support. Every year since he started campaigning, we've seen a lot of support laws for him. It's just incremental at this point.
And if you guys got drafted, would you guys go to war?
No, absolutely. I'd go to Canada. I would fight for this country. I signed up to do it before. I can't now because I'm injured, but like that is what I wanted to do.
I just noticed.
But this isn't for our country. This isn't for our people.
hand.
This doesn't help us.
Why do you think the United States always gets involved in these foreign wars?
It makes us money. It makes us a lot of money.
Would you call Donald Trump George Trump after this?
Maybe.
Would you go to war if the United States entered into war with Iran?
Would I go to war? Not gonna lie, bro, I don't really respect the U.S., bro, because they ain't never done shit for me, you know? Why fight for somebody if no one's ever done anything for you, you know what I'm saying? So probably not.
What should the United States do with this conflict? Should they enter into war with Iran?
Should they? If does it concern them? Because I haven't really been like watching the news and stuff.
All right. So say Iran has a nuclear weapon that could decimate the entire population of Israel, or the entire population of New York City, California, the United States. Should the United States go and try to decimate and destroy that bomb?
Yeah, I guess they should, because it could hurt millions of people, but if it has nothing to do with them, you know, because who's to say every other country has the same bomb, you know what I'm saying? Does that mean the United States has to take out every other country? You know what I'm saying? We don't know that. As far as we know, North Korea could have the same type of bomb or even stronger, you know what I'm saying? But who's to say it's our business just to go, you know, put our hands in water that shouldn't be put our hands with, you know?
So should the United States enter into war?
Well, is it war if you bomb a place that their military installations? It is war, but it's not troops on the ground war. But if Israel needs our help to eliminate the nuclear program, we should do it. That's up to the president, and then Congress can say what they want. But you can't allow a country that already said they want to burn us and Israel to the ground so they destroy us to have a nuclear weapon. Because I don't see any way they wouldn't use it.
And should we trust Netanyahu? He's been saying that Iran's been building this nuclear weapon since 1990s. Should we trust Netanyahu?
I think we should always trust but verify everything. And the fact is they have been trying to. Trying and building is two different things.
And if the United States were to enter into this war with Iran, how long do you think it would last? Or do you think if they used the Moab, the bunker bluster, do you think that would end the war almost immediately?
I think it could, but we can't tell if it will, but it will definitely end their ability to complete their project. Unless it's already done, I pray it's not, because they would definitely, why would you send a missile that could be shot down when you could drive it in a truck that says full of food, or ship it in a shipping container to New York Harbor, and it just looked like it's some stuff to sell? And as long as it's got a lead line, we wouldn't be able to detect it.
This guy looks kind of crazy, right, Chad?
Do you trust Donald Trump's judgment in this time of the Israel-Iran conflict?
His judgment's better than Biden and Harris. They opened up the borders and made the nation unsafe.
So at the end of the day, if Donald Trump says, all right, we're going to war with Iran, do you support it?
When you put it like that, that isn't how it be. Does he have the right to bomb?
That isn't how it be, Chad.
I think so, if he can prove, and then Congress can have a session and try to counter. They have that power if he's doing something that's contrary to our best interest. But when you say go to war, it's not necessarily troops on the ground, but we want to support those who defend our principles, which is democracy. So you don't just go to war. Generally, it's in stages. Hopefully, we won't have to send our troops. But if someone's going to build a nuclear weapon, and they've said they want to burn us to the ground, then we have to stop it. And we hope we get others to do our battle for us, but we do not want to leave that undone if we're logical. we have to be logical over any beliefs, because logic is ethical. If your logic is not ethical, it's bad logic.
And I'm super interested to see what you guys have to say in the comments down below. Go ahead and give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and if you guys want to watch another one of my videos,
Those were some good
click
questions,
this
I'm not
video
gonna lie.
right here.
Those were some good questions. Oh yeah, he did something on the ice. The anti-ice protesters, dude. Let's check him out. Nick Shirley, dude. Shout out Nick Shirley. These are some good
Throwing
questions.
bricks at the police.
Damn! This is our city, and this was Mexico. You can't kick us out of the land that was ours.
LA has erupted over the past few days as ICE officials.
Chat, what the fuck did I just watch? We're about to rewatch that. That was insane.
Holy cow, they're throwing bricks at the police.
This is our city, and this was Mexico. You can't kick us out of the land that was ours.
LA has erupted over the past few days as ICE officials came in and carried out a few raids. The past few days have been wild here on the streets of LA. Cars have been burnt, intersections have been taken over. Local and state officials are not happy with what's going on with the federal government. The footage you're about to see is absolutely insane. The police are coming through right now. Speak no more and get into the video. Everyone's out here protesting right now. ICE came through here down LA. The streets are erupting here. Let's see what's going on. The National Guard has been deployed out here into the streets of LA. Thousands of protesters are here on the streets right now.
Chat, I gotta watch that one more time, dude. The brick going through the back of the police car is insane. Like, I'm surprised they're
at the police.
Look, this could have went straight to him, dude. And then they throw more in there. They could have knocked him out.
And this was Mexico. You can't kick us out of the land that was ours.
LA has erupted over the past few days as ICE officials came in and carried out a few raids. The past few days have been wild here on the streets of LA. Cars have been burnt, intersections have been taken over. Local and state officials are not happy with what's going on with the federal government. The footage you're about to see is absolutely insane. The police are coming through right now. Speak no more and get into the video. Everyone's out here protesting right now. ICE came through here down LA. The streets are erupting here. Let's see what's going on. The National Guard has been deployed out here into the streets of LA. Thousands of protesters are here on the streets right now. Right here on this federal building, you have words like F-ICE, revolution starting here, here for my family, all sorts of stuff. Right here you have the National Guard. They've come through. You have troops, about 300 in different directions. Trump sent in about 2,000 people. There's groups of 300 sent around the city right here. And this one is at the side of the federal building here at one of the ICE detention centers here in LA. What's your message to the National Guard here today?
The National Guard.
And why do you think they got sent out here today?
They got sent because we don't have a president that can lead.
And what fears you most about Donald Trump and the ICE raids coming through here in Los Angeles?
I don't fear that motherfucker. Have you seen our community? I don't feel that motherfucker.
Donald Trump. Yeah, it's actually a really dangerous place to be.
What's the water for?
Diffuse tear gas. If needed. Yeah. If you throw a canister in one of these, it should diffuse it enough, or at least stop the chemical reaction.
What makes you want to come out here with the Honduras flag out here?
I mean, these are my roots right here, you know? This is where my family came from. I'm a first gen.
A lot of people wonder on social media, why are people coming out here with other nationalities' flags? If they don't like America, why don't they go back to
I love America and what it represents. You know, the idea of America to our people is a better future and an opportunity to have a job and create something that in our homes we don't have. You know, so we love America. We want to be here. We want to contribute. You know, and I agree. The people that have committed crimes and, you know, like an actual crime of, you know, murder, something like that, I can agree with that. You know, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say, no, keep everybody here. Yeah. But the people who are here, hardworking people.
Right now, do you think it's right for them to go after the most dangerous people like they say they're doing?
I mean, I don't see nobody here has attacked them. And they initiated all of this. We're peacefully protesting. They're the ones that come out with riot shields. They come out with billy clubs and all kinds of shit. I don't know who's the aggressor here, but it ain't us.
You! I can't wait to know you! Take off your badge, big boy! Take off your badge! Coward! Get that shit out of my fucking face.
Okay. That guy's yelling
Yo,
at the
he's
ICE
in
officials for being
danger.
a coward for wearing a mask. Meanwhile, he also has a mask on. What's your message to the police officers in that?
Yo, wait, he just roasted the shit out of him. That's so fucking funny. I love this guy. This is my new favorite reporter.
National Guard right now.
They've got a choice. They don't have to do this fucking shit. That's it. They can either be American citizens or they can be what they're doing right now.
You don't think they're acting like as American citizens?
No.
Do you think they're trying to protect the country or make it a more dangerous place?
What do you mean? Like, this is way, way beyond what it needs to be.
Something's about to break out real soon. If these people keep taunting the police officers with all these other flags, all these other words they're saying to these police officers and National Guard, something's about to happen.
You guys suck! Christy Lewis! You guys suck! Donald Trump!
I can tell you're very upset.
Of course we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
We feel some burning in the eyes right now. Upon arrival here, everybody be prepared. We still fight for the legalization of all in occupied territories. This was indigenous land. This was Mexico. This is our fucking turf. F these motherfuckers. Free them all!
Stolen people on stolen land. Black people were stolen. Then it was taken from the indigenous. Stolen people on stolen land.
What's your message to ICE and to the federal government today?
Just the message, just straight up, is just this government is fucking corrupt as fuck. People need to fucking start realizing that.
Damn, Chad, look at his tattoo on his shoulder. That goes hard as hell.
And fucking, we need a fucking factory reset. We need some justice up in here, just for everybody. Straight the fuck up. You know what I mean?
You have lots of tattoos, and people oftentimes interpret tattoos with being part of a gangs and whatnot. Have you been checked for gangs or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm focused on some other shit. I'm not worried about that though.
You're not worried about that? So essentially, all that's happening right now is that ICE, police, DHS, and the National Guard are just holding a line here outside this federal building. Protesters haven't gone back at the police quite yet. We'll see what happens. Could be happening very soon.
This was our land. All this is stolen. And what? Now we're fucking illegal here. We're gonna die. Are you fucking kidding me? You're not fighting for. You're not fighting for this country. We're gonna dox you. We're gonna dox you.
What does that mean?
We're gonna dox you.
Like your internet connection?
I love this flag right here.
You just said you love that flag right there. What's your favorite thing about the Mexican flag?
What colors?
What's the purpose of bringing out the Mexican flag?
I was gonna
today
say
here
that.
While we are in the United States.
Honestly, I have no idea, bro. I just came here to just show out. That's it, bro.
Do you think it's low-key like, all right, if you want to rep your flag, go back to your country kind of vibe, or do you think people are just upset with what's going on?
I don't know. Honestly, like, it's true, you know, like, we did come, but, like, I don't know, bro. Just, they're here already. They don't want to leave.
Why are they protesting what's going on here in the United States if they don't want to go back to their country?
Because they think it's, like, it's stolen land, so they think they could just come in here, you know, and take over.
And this guy right here is essentially taunting National Guard right here, saying National Guard, LOL. Meanwhile, National Guard is right there with their troops. The lawyers have arrived.
Yeah.
What are you guys here to do?
We don't talk to press, I'm sorry.
Okay, and what's your guys' job here to do?
We're legal observers with the National Lawyers Guild, so we're a third party. Yeah.
So if the protesters say they touch a police officer or one of the members of the National Guard, who's at fault? If they then detain that
Yeah, we don't.
Just look up National Guard. So the people with the green hats, they essentially watch to see if law enforcement does anything that they could then go and sue them for. So who knows who they get paid by? However, their job is to make sure that if a protester does get detained, they get all the name, info, so that they can go and file a lawsuit as they're part of the National Lawyers Guild.
That's clutch.
And a lot of people wonder who funds that group with the green hats. Is it George Soros or is it some other outside organization? Nobody really knows. We got this group right behind me gathering right now. They're all masked up. They're in a circle. Looks like they're planning to do something. You're here talking to the National Guard. What's your message to them today?
I'm just asking this dude to think, you know. I was just talking to this guy, asking him, if they give you the order to shoot, are you gonna do it? He wouldn't look me in the eye. It took a while, but he told me no eventually. None of these people want to be here. This captain looks sad as f. Look at this captain, bro. Sad as f. He does not want to be here doing this. None of them want to be here doing this, and yet they are. They need to make their own fucking choices and
Did he
think
get
for
baited?
themselves.
Look at him. He's like, I don't want to be
disarmed
on.
in front of thousands of people?
I just want the National Guard out of my city. I want people freed. I don't want to see any more kidnapping. I don't want to see any more ICE in our communities. I want to see tax dollars going to this.
Who would you like to protect the nation?
The people. I mean, all I care about is the people. I just want everybody to be safe, not kidnapped.
Do you think there needs to be laws here in the United States to regulate things like immigration?
I think people need to not be kidnapped.
For instance, this is all caused because a lot of people did come to the country these past 4 years. Do you think there should be regulations with who comes across the border and how many come across?
You know, I think whatever regulations there may or may not be, they're abducting people at court cases, right?
If somebody comes across the border without due process, do they deserve due process going out?
Yes, everybody deserves due process.
Now they're all moving, they're going to City Hall.
All right, Chad, it's spicing up.
Fuck LAPD.
All these people right here taunting the police, direct line in between them. More police are coming.
Fuck LA.
What do you guys say?
Bro, this is fucking bullshit, bro. They out here hurting innocent people. Fuck you, bitch.
Yeah, you're right,
This
Casper.
Right here. She was one of the people in that group that I was talking about earlier on in this video. Her and this guy right up here causing all the chaos.
You need a mask,
What's the
Tony?
mask for?
I mean, shit. I mean, you know.
You're handing out the mask. Why are people having masks? And who do you think's in the wrong? Newsom or Trump right now? They're battling it out.
Trump, definitely.
He's on the right or wrong?
Wrong. Totally. Look at what's happening. I mean, clearly.
What are you gonna do?
Huh?
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I'm just kind of here.
Just keep the finger up?
Yeah.
There you go.
This guy's a little fucking bitch. No, this guy's a fucking. He's a fucking white nationalist. Fuck this guy. You're a little fucking bitch.
Don't touch the camera.
Fucking bitch. I know that.
Hey.
You're a fucking bitch.
I don't do anything.
Get the fuck out of here. I know you fucking do. You fucking white nationalist motherfucker.
How?
I know who you are. You fucking Republican bitch.
Bro, you don't need to put. If he's one of them, they're gonna get it.
I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna fucking punch you in his fucking face. You're like, you know what the fuck
Yo, it
you
gets
do?
dangerous.
You know
Holy
you
shit.
Antagonize people? Oh, fuck your fucking bitch ass up.
I'm
Get
not
the fuck
doing
out of here.
anything.
Get the fuck out of here. Just like the cops. Get the fuck out of
Hey,
here.
I have a right to be here just like you.
Yeah, so do we, motherfucker.
Okay, I'm not-
So why the cops here? You're a fucking cop. That's what you
I'm
fucking
not
are.
a cop.
Yeah, you are. You fucking
How am I a
asshole.
cop?
You want to fucking steal that shit?
Get out of here, bro.
What? I'm fucking cornered, you little bitch. Are you a little fucking bitch? I fucking see you on fucking line.
Subscribed.
Oh, you fucking antagonizing right-wing fucking ideology, motherfucker. This is our fucking land, you fucking bitch. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Dude, I have every right to be here.
I don't give a fuck, not today. I'm the fucking police. I'm telling you not to be here, motherfucker.
Well, I want to be here.
Well, I'm fucking telling you not to be here. Get the fuck
Get
out
out of
of here.
my
You
way.
walking towards the cops, you fucking little faggot.
Get out of here.
Little fucking asshole. I know you are, you fucking right-wing motherfucker. You're a little fucking bitch.
I have every right to be here just like you.
Well, I'm gonna be right next to you the whole fucking time.
Okay.
Fucking cause hell, you little faggot.
Do it. That guy's mad at me for being here. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to show what's going on here.
I'm your personal bodyguard now, motherfucker.
Thank you.
You little bitch.
I didn't do anything to you, sir. Now the police are backing up. People have taken over the police in here. They just broke the windshield of the police. So it makes no sense. I understand why the protesters are out here today. They're upset.
Yo, thoughts on that guy pressing him? He kind of stood his ground. Not gonna lie. He stood his ground, bro. Bro didn't leave. He was obviously did not want any physical, like, confrontation, but, like, he stood his ground. He stood his ground.
The police are trying to leave, though, and they won't let the police leave. So watch, the police are trying to leave out of here, and watch what's going to happen to this police officer when he drives away.
Dang.
The police have been overtaken here on the streets. There's about 10 of them now here on the streets, and over 1,000 protesters are throwing waters at the police. Now the police are about to shoot.
What's the deal?
What's the deal? It's crazy out here,
Come on,
man.
now look.
He took his hat off.
I don't understand. The
Right.
police are trying to leave, but people won't let them leave.
The police.
I know that everyone's saying F the police,
Fuck
but
'em
if the
all.
police are trying to leave, should they let them leave?
Yeah.
I understand that these people are upset, but the police are trying to leave. There's about 20 police officers now, but they're not letting them leave. And when they do leave, they're kicking the cars, throwing waters at them. They broke the windshield of one of these police officers. So I understand they're upset, but I don't understand why they won't let the police leave if they're trying to leave. Everyone's going back to the National Guard where the people are being detained right now. For those watching the video right now, am I right or wrong in having the opinion that the police are trying to leave, the people should let them leave?
I agree with that.
Versus antagonizing them even more.
I agree. Like, if the police are trying to pull out and they're not trying to, like, be there to hold guard anymore, I mean, that's kind of them just, like saying, like, yeah, we're not going to be a part of this. Like, let them go at that point and just worry about who's still there.
You're kind of putting the police in a hard situation when they're trying to back out, leave the location, and then you're the one hitting back at the police, throwing stuff. So I'm confused. What should the police do? Should they be able to fight back, or should they just take the hits? You get hit?
You just already know, man. Hey, it's for a cause, you know what I'm saying? We out here, bro, as you can.
That looked like it hurts.
Wow, you took that hit right on the chest.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah, bro. I was just riding my scooter, like, you know what I mean? Just another day and just BAM!
Nah, I saw. He's lying. I saw this guy earlier in the video. This is a dude that rolled up on a scooter and kicked the car.
In the crossfire.
Man, I did something. I ain't gonna lie. I fucked shit up, so hey, this shit comes with a price in the end, you know what I'm saying?
Now, everyone has rushed back to the federal building. National Guard's out here, police back on that side, and thousands of people. Streets are filled. Now police are shooting. Fired out here. National Guard has now been activated. They've left their spots and they're pushing everybody back. Holy crap, people are getting shot right now. Drop the tear gas. Got this guy out here shooting silly string at the police officer. Shots are being fired. All sorts of stuff are happening right now here on the streets of LA.
You are the rioters! You are the rioters!
Dang, bro.
So these are what they're shooting at the protesters. There are these rubber bullets right here. These are powerful. They're coming out and they're ricocheting everywhere at the protesters. As a protester, do you feel like you guys are accomplishing your purpose out here today?
I don't know who you are, man. I'm not talking to you.
Right, so what happened to this guy right here?
He got hit with a rubber bullet.
Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck fascism! Let our people free! Suelta nuestra gente! Let our people free! Suelta nuestra gente! Let our people free!
What's the windblower for?
Just for the fucking tear gas to blow it back at those motherfuckers! If you have a fucking blower, bring it up! Push them back! We will not do 1982 again with your fucking tanks! I was 12 then! I'm 44 now! I will die for my fucking kids! And all of these young people are here are my fucking kids! Because I'm an LA native mom! These are my fucking children you're fighting!
Okay, girl.
You!
You're loud.
Major
You're so loud.
If you can hear me, expect my ass in your office on Monday for attacking my children. This is our city,
She's
and
loud
this
as
was
shit.
Mexico. You can't
Thank you
get
for
this
putting
out
that
of the
down.
land that was
You're loud
ours.
without it.
If you could say something to Donald Trump right now, what would you say?
Donald Trump,
Oh my god.
you can suck my left nut, you can get out of my fucking drawer. You're just Mecca Salma Hayek when they give you the time of day, bitch. And because Claudia Sheinbaum make you look like a fucking loser.
What do you mean by your sign?
I mean that, like,
Thank you for getting her off
all
the
the
screen,
power
bro.
in this country comes from the people who established the republic. The streets are safe and secure because we decide not to make them unsafe. And like, the way we're being treated on some level is as if we were captives in a concentration camp. We're innocent until proven guilty. Innocent until proven guilty. It's not like they can just drag people off the street just because they think that they're guilty. So.
With these deportations, they say they're deporting the worst of the worst. Do you think they're deporting the worst of the worst, or do you think they're just taking anybody and anybody?
No, I just think they're taking anybody and everybody. I live over by a Home Depot, and they were just like dragging guys off the street who were trying to earn a day's work. You know.
And what would you like to see them do with these deportations?
Well, I mean, if there are criminals and they're found to be doing crimes and they are illegal immigrants, and they should be like charged, tried in a court of law and maybe deported.
Earlier, the police were trying to leave today, but the protesters weren't letting them leave. What should the police do in that case if the protesters are not letting the police leave, if they're trying to go to a different location?
Yeah, that's a tricky one. I'm not sure. I saw videos, people trying to get in front of the trucks. I think on some level that's like just creating, compounding the problem. I think like if they're going to drive away, just kind of let them drive away. I don't think that like forcing them to stay is necessarily like the best thing.
I don't think that's like an unreasonable take to like if the police are leaving, let them leave.
Yeah, let them go. Yeah,
keep pushing back at them.
They're just going to be like hurting people and like running them over with their cars and like, yeah.
And you're wearing a mask. Why are so many of these protesters out here wearing masks? Meanwhile, a lot of people are saying these ICE agents need to take off their masks.
Yeah, well, in part it's like because of the Fourth Amendment gives me the right to be secure in my person and property and my personhood, and so that's part of the reason, because I have the right. The Constitution acknowledges my right to be masked in public whenever I want to.
Should ICE agents stay masked or should they go unmasked?
Who?
ICE agents.
No, they need to be unmasked and with their name, a large identifying nameplate visible. Because they're public servants. They don't have a right to the constitutional rights. They don't have the right to the First, Fourth, Fifth. None of those amendments apply to them. They only apply to citizens, not the state.
On all four entrances of this intersection, protesters have surrounded it. Now police are coming in on all angles right now. At the police. They were throwing bricks at the police officers, shattered the back of the police officer's car. Now they're taking open fire here in the streets. Looks like the National Guard, they're nowhere to be seen right now. It's just LAPD right now here in the streets. Just when you think it could get more crazy, the madness just continues here on the streets of LA. Now you have a big group of people all sitting down in front of the police. This is a repeat of 2020 here on the streets of LA. And the simple observation out here, there's pretty much every flag out here except the flag of the United States of America. You can see here on the ground are all the remnants of all the shots, bottles, even bricks that were thrown here on the ground. Police are here. National Guard, nowhere to be seen right now. A few people have been detained. They have them right back there. They have them detained in handcuffs. And now another line is coming through right here. Looks like they're going to trap everybody here inside of this intersection. Oh. People are lighting off fireworks here on the streets. That's extremely dangerous. Los Angeles has just declared that they're on tactical alert here, which means that anybody who's a part of LAPD needs to be ready to be out here no matter how long of a shift it is. They must be ready because what could break loose tonight or this evening could get extremely intense. These are already intense scenes out here. It could get even worse later tonight. What's your message to these police officers out here today?
Quit your jobs!
Quit your jobs.
Be the good guys! Stand for what America stands for! Stand for due process! Don't kowtow to these federal cowards! Do what's right! Follow state law! Don't assist ICE! It's pathetic, guys! Get your shit together!
Who should protect the streets in an instance like this when there's a huge protest going on? Should the police even come out?
Protest?
It was getting pretty wild.
Yeah, because they started shooting. I've been here the whole time. They opened fire first.
If people start pushing at the police, what should police do?
Probably get the f out the way.
Just let them go through?
We're not here for them. We're here for the fucking ICE. We're here for the feds. We want them out. LAPD, we got no beef with them. In fact, the governor said that state law dictates that they're not supposed to aid immigration in any way whatsoever.
So do you think the federal government's overstepping their reach coming in here to LA with
Yeah, man,
Karen
100%.
Bass and Gavin Newsom?
100%. Even Gavin said that.
Who do you trust more, Gavin Newsom or Donald Trump?
I trust what I see. I don't trust Gavin. Gavin's kind of a scumbag.
And how do you think ICE should carry out with these deportations? They say they're going after the worst of the worst. There's over 20 million.
They're clearly not. They're raiding school graduations. They're raiding workplaces. They're raiding job sites. Those aren't the worst of the worst. Those are employees. Those are people that are contributing to their communities. They're not going after the worst of the worst. That's a fucking lie that's been fed to you by Fox fucking News.
What should they do if someone has an illegal status here? Whether they're the most dangerous or if they're just the dad working.
What do you mean by illegal status? Do you mean undocumented?
Undocumented, illegal, like came over the border illegally.
Because being undocumented in the United States is not a criminal offense. It is a civil offense. So it's not a crime. It's not a crime. Full stop.
You got shot here today.
Yeah.
Dang,
On a
bro.
scale of 10, how bad did the bullet hurt?
At first, I got 10 instantly because he saw me like point blank.
So were you pushing at the police officers? What were you doing?
What had happened was, I'm not gonna lie, my girlfriend threw water at him, but then he like twisted really hard, and then he didn't. I don't know. I was lucky, my fault, but I don't know, man. It's not right what they're doing.
And to finish the video, now that protesters have taken over the 110 highway here in the streets of Los Angeles. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Give this video a like. I'll be reading your comments down below. This is Nick.
That is crazy, dude. This guy's a pretty good interviewer. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's a pretty good interviewer. He asks the right questions.
This video is made to educate and inform people just
the
like
right
you
people
watching
to
this
talk
video
to.
on
He's
the
in the
current
right
state and
events.
current issue that's happening here in America currently with the fentanyl crisis. And each person being interviewed in this video consented to being filmed, and I made sure each person was alive and taken care of after I left the scene where I was filming at. Please stay away from drugs, and may we all pray for Kensington, Philadelphia.
It burned down to the bone, so it's been numb ever since, you know?
You'll see a familiar face, and at any given moment, you might not see that person again.
This is a choice for you to be doing this every day.
It's a choice. I mean, I can choose to get picked up right now and go to rehab.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
If you're watching this, whoever, do not come down here because it makes you worse, not better.
I'm in Kensington, Philadelphia right now, and right behind me, right here, we have someone that is overdosing on Trank. It is a new drug that has been spreading across America. They're mixing this new drug called Trank with fentanyl, and it has caused a lot of chaos here in Philadelphia and across America. And this avenue right here called Kensington Avenue is known as the land of zombies because, like this guy right behind me, people are overdosing and it's putting them in a zombie-like state where they lose complete control of their body in a slumping motion.
Yeah, that's
to grasp
crazy.
the gravity of this issue, while you are watching this video, 4 people across America will die from drug overdose. Kensington is known as the city of zombies due to the devastating effects of a drug called xylazine, a horse tranquilizer mixed with fentanyl. Commonly refers to as Trank, this drug is notorious for causing severe skin wounds and transforming users into a zombie-like state, causing them to lose control of their bodies and transform into a slumped, nodding posture. Within seconds of being on this avenue, I met a man who was nodding off. And right now, your body's moving around in this motion right now. And what drug is causing you to slump like this?
Right now.
Sir, are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm ready to go home.
What drug are you taking right now?
You know
Is it Trank?
Yeah.
Does it make you mad when people call this place Zombieland and they call the people of the streets zombies?
Look around, what do you see? You see people with arms that with exposed flesh. You see people that you walk by when you smell, what you smell in the air is death. You know, so how can a person be mad? If anything, they should be mad at themselves. You know, for allowing themselves to get like this.
The streets in Kensington are filled with needles. They are literally everywhere. Look at this drain. There are more than 20 needle caps in this one frame. And what drugs are taking over the streets here?
Heroin, crack,
meth, usually just that stuff.
And we've been hearing a lot about Trank and Trank getting mixed with fentanyl.
Well, that's what I basically meant when I said heroin would be the Trank.
And to understand the power of fentanyl, it is 100 times more powerful than morphine and 50 times more powerful than heroin. But from what I understood from the users here on the streets, they're using heroin laced with fentanyl added with xylazine, creating triple the high. I do not share this information to promote the power of this drug, but rather to help you be more aware of the danger of this drug in hopes of it discouraging any potential user.
Yeah,
And
that's
does the city do
insane.
anything to help you guys try to get off the drugs here? Or?
Well, actually...
Alright guys, it has been a great hour. You already know what it is. We're going to go ahead and end off for right now. We took in a lot of information. If you guys enjoyed the segments that we hit in this hour, please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys probably in the next 30 or 40 minutes.